Hello everybody and welcome back to Driversroom Sunday League. We're here at round number 6 of 8 and we are at the Saint Croix racing circuit. Very technical circuit with a lot of corners, and we are here with a variety of cars. Yes, you heard that right. It's not a one make, it is an all you can make in some universe. This race is based on 625 performance points, and it had to be a road car. And yeah, you could choose anything you like and tune it up the way you wanted to. So a lot of different cars, and we will go over them with the grid walk. Lining up on pole position, it is Too Fast for You, and he's in the Dodge Viper GTS from 2013. Then alongside him it is Gary. He starts from second place in his Ford GT from 2017. Then there's Low Power. He starts from third with his Ford Focus RS from 2018. And then it's Mark GT with his Lamborghini Countach, the 25th anniversary edition from 1988. First car to be featured from the 90s or 19th, yeah, 20th century that way. All right. Then next up we have Cartman. He is in the KTM Expo R from 2012. Then we have Flapjack in the Willys Jeep MB or MB from 1945, a historic piece of art. This is with a lot of gold on this one. Then we have Urk in his Mitsubishi GTO Twin Turbo from 1991, a real JDM car. Then there's Mercer with a who doesn't recognize this Ferrari F40 from 1992, a real beauty, arguably one of the best Ferraris ever made. Then we have Kit Claren also in a KTM Expo R. Then it is Mickey in a Porsche 911 GT3 997 from 2009. And last but not least, in 11th place, it is Spo with his Mazda Atenza sedan. He lines up in 11th place. Anyway, that is the grid order for today's race. Let's see what this race will bring us. All 5 lights are on. And they're out, and away we go. And seems to be a good getaway from Low Power and an extremely good getaway from Flappy. Already up to 4th place as they make their way down into turn number 1. Ooh, Low Power shoves Too Fast a little bit wide. Gary gets in between as well. And Flappy nearly up into 1st place after starting from what I think it was 7th place on the grid. As they make their way through the first couple of corners. Gary in his GT40 or his Ford GT, leading from Low Power. Then it's Flappy, then it's Too Fast, losing out on the start. As the two KTMs are running side by side. As they make their way to the bridge. So far no casualties to note, as it's become fairly condensed on the bridge. As we ride on board with Flappy, he seems to have a very good acceleration. Let's see if he can catch up to low power on the back straight. Oh, sun shining in our eyes, but actually low power seems to be pulling away. Flappy only having 3 gears, gets overtaken by Too Fast as well, so not the quickest on the straights, mostly in acceleration. There lies his strength. Further down the field, Spo has got himself a 1-second penalty. As Cartman has moved himself up ahead of Mercer in his F40. Spo will serve his penalty as Martin runs really wide at the penultimate corner. Spo gets overtaken by Urk, as that's already at the end of lap number 1. Gary first across the finish line, still in that first place. Fast catching up to low power now. Low power not getting a great line through turn number 1. Is Too Fast gonna send it up the inside? He is. And can he make it stick? Low power, is he gonna fight it out? I think he is. He's still on the inside, but has to give in for Too Fast. Too Fast now up to 2nd place. And there's Flappy already again. Looking for a move on low power, not really working out. It's a very difficult track to overtake here. You need to be really alongside. There you can see some acceleration from Flappy, but it's not enough for him, as he needs to slot back in behind the low power. Marchetti in his Lamborghini, still holding on to that first couple of places. As Flappy now gets past low power again. And you can see the amount of overspeed, 250 in just 230 kilometers. That's the overspeed of more than 40 kilometers an hour more. Almost 30 miles an hour for the British guys. Spo has fallen a little bit further behind now, also behind Mercer. And Spo really bad on his front tires. The Mazda not too keen on saving tires, it seems. His fronts are already pretty worn, as everyone else's tires are decent. Fastest lap from Too Fast, a 2:19.9, just below the 2:20 mark. But we will probably see this dropping further and further as we go on with this race. In terms of fuel, everyone is around the same fuel level, 2 KTM, so a little bit higher on their fuel. That's about to be expected with the size of their engines that they have. Not the biggest one, especially not as big as this one from Gary. As behind, low power has made a mistake. Low power has made a mistake, and he has dropped down all the way down to 8th place already. Let's see what happens there. So he makes his way to the bridge, goes a little bit wide, and oh, the back end steps out, he overcorrects. And overcorrects again. And that's why he almost hit the barrier, luckily not quite. But that's why he suddenly lost a bunch of positions, dropping from 3rd all the way down to 8th place. But already getting a place back on Mercer. And moving himself up to 7th place. Going for a recovery drive now. I don't think that's what he intended on doing this race. But we will see where he will end up. Back to live pictures once more. As Tufas is closing in slightly on Gary. Ooh, and Gary again running a bit wide on the exit of turn 1. Tufas is already gonna look up the inside, which turns into the outside for turn number 3. Can he make it stick? Gary will have to run a compromise line. And it looks to me like Tufas has got the job done. And has moved himself up in front of Gary. As Flappy still sits nicely in that 3rd place. Spo has now dropped all the way down to last place. With Mickey now up to 10th. 10th is Giclaren. Giclaren quite possibly also with a mistake on the last lap. Was a lot slower than his personal best lap. Oh, there Urk and Cartman going at it between each other. Gardman not able to make enough of a, or close the gap enough to make a move into the heavy braking zone, the heaviest braking zone on this entire circuit. Can Tufas improve his fastest lap? He can by just under a tenth, improving to a 2-minute 19.900, which was almost 2 seconds quicker than Gary on that last lap. Of course, he also overtook him. Oh, and Marty T running a bit deep into turn number 1. Not what he would like to do when chasing after Flappy for that final podium position. As Cartman has gotten past Urk. Now Lopar's also gotten pretty close. That F40 is such a beautiful car, isn't it? It's such a lovely car to see and to drive, I think, as well. Oh, there goes Cartman! Cartman has hit the wall! Cartman has spun it round. And he has hit the wall at the beginning of the bridge. Let's see what happened there. So Cartman comes onto the bridge. Ooh, runs it a bit wide. Oh, just spins it out on the grass. And there he is, facing the barrier. Mercer can luckily avoid him. But, oh, that's a disaster for Cartman. About what we saw with Law Power at the beginning of the race, but maybe a tad worse. Cartman also receiving a 1.5 second penalty and some damage to his car. That will do him no good. He will be fighting now with the other KTM of Giclaren. because he needs to serve that penalty before he can attack. We return live to see that Lawpower has made his way past Urk and also past Cartman, but we saw what happened to Cartman. Now back up to 5th place, so somewhat decent recovery drive up until this point. We might see a couple of guys pitting at the end of this lap, seeing that the lap is just shy of 2.5 minutes and some don't have enough fuel. Well, some do have enough fuel, it's just Lawpower just does not have enough fuel. I think that's it. You saw the performance he has on the straights. A lot of horsepower. But that horsepower also drinks a lot of fuel. You can see it with Mark GT closing in on the bridge and probably also on this main straight. As Mark GT trying to power it out of the long right-hander. Looking in his rear view mirror. And Lawpower is actually not closing in as much as I thought he would. And look at how relaxed Mark GT is driving. Just one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the shifter knob. And not even a worry from his side. As Carmen and Gicklaren are now duking it out. Carmen overtaking Gicklaren. Spo in last place, a long way off the field, but his front tires are severely degrading. And look at Mickey's tires, not that much degrading on his side. Mercer is coming into the pit lane and so is Lawpower for a refuel and for a change of tires. And there's Mercer, also a change of tires for him. And a refuel. We will see where they end up coming out of the pits. And Mercer had a tad more fuel in his car and that might prove costly to Lawpower, and it does, because there is Mercer. Mercer is ahead of Lawpower, and maybe even more important, Spo is ahead of the both of them. And Mercer got a 3-second penalty as well. And Mercer looking for a move up the inside, and ooh, running a bit wide. And Spo as well running wide, going deep into that 3rd corner. That will give Lawpower a drive and overtake him for 10th place. Mercer still with that 3-second penalty. Will get overtaken pretty shortly. As further up the field, it is still too fast to hold the lead. Improved his personal best and the overall fastest lap to a 2-minute 19.296. And even going purple on this lap as he heads into the final sector. Can he stick it for another fastest lap attempt? He might come into the pit actually, so he might have to bail out of this one. As I think he is, and yes, he peels off into the pit lane now. And Gary will do the same. What about Flappy? Think he can go for another lap? But he does actually. Flappy goes on for another lap. Mark GT also goes on for another lap. Urk decides to come into the pit lane, and then there's Cartman. Cartman could quite possibly just make it to the end. I think he's gonna stay out, and so is Gicklaren. So interesting, the KTM Expo seemingly very good on its fuel and tires, and still able to get a very decent lap time. So Flappy now in first place, ahead of Margity and Cartman. Too fast, and Gary not refueling as much as I thought he would. Not even filling up to 75%. And he comes out right behind Too Fast. But maybe in the long run that is gonna prove costly. But for now he can put Too Fast under pressure. I suppose now also in the pit lane, refueling as well. And actually after Mercer's penalty he stayed in front of Low Power. At least for the time being. Cartman will happily take some slipstream from Gary, as you can see that KTM very good through the corners, not particularly great on the straights. As you can see how much of a gap they have pulled to the KTM behind. It is American Muscle versus Ford EcoBoost. Which one is gonna win? It seems pretty even. I think the Viper has a little bit more top speed than Gary has, but Gary might have a little bit more downforce. As Margity comes into the pit lane, Flappy staying out for another lap. That will mean that Too Fast will inherit second place again. Cartman now back up to fourth place. After he and Giggler not stopping. They moved up a bunch of positions. Mickey also trying to do a no stopper. And don't think actually he's gonna make it. He needs to do some hefty fuel saving if he wants to make it to the end. Low Power has gotten past Mercer. As they make their way on to lap number 9. Gary might actually make it, you know, with his fuel. He actually he is able to make it, although he probably needs to do some good fuel saving towards the end. But so far it's looking good. And two KTMs also very close to each other. Giggler last lap, a personal best lap of a 22.9 for him. Last lap for Cartman was a 23.9, so a second slower. And that points itself out in the way that Cartman is now very much closer to Giggler. This might turn into a fight for fourth place, which will eventually become third after Flappy has pitted. He must come in at the end of his lap for sure. He's below 10% of fuel. But the question is he gonna change tires, yes or no? I mean, it costs a couple of seconds. He might not need it. Too Fast gets the lead back from Flappy at the start of lap number 10. And Flappy seems to have is refueling. And he gets out. Where does he come out? He comes out ahead of Mickey and behind the two KTMs. and it indeed put on a new set of rubber. Low power with a personal best lap time of a 2 minute 21.1. Erk's last lap was a 2:22.8, so nearly 2 seconds gained on that last lap by low power on the Mazda. Sorry, not a Mazda, Mitsubishi was on it's Mitsubishi. Sorry, got confused for a moment. All those Japanese cars almost look the same to one another. I'll probably get some angry comments about that one, but hey, it's the way it is. At least that's the way I see it. Godman has fallen away quite a lot. Has he made another mistake? I think he has. He has dropped all the way down behind Mickey. Yeah, 12 seconds behind his personal best lap time. Not that great for him. It ruins a chance of a podium for him. Ooh, and Flappy now with a 1 second penalty for track limits. He will serve that next lap. When he does, he will fall a little bit further behind Kicklaren. Meanwhile, Too Fast puts in a new best lap of the race. A 2:18.617. That was a little over a second quicker than Gary's last lap, which in fact was his personal best lap time at a 2 minute 19.760. He did go slightly, almost only by 3 thousandths quicker in the first sector than Too Fast did last time round. But he is still 2 tenths up on his personal best lap time on the bridge. There's Flappy. Is Flappy gonna make a move? Not quite. He's gonna wait for a better opportunity. Is now on the straight. Not closing in on that KTM from Kicklaren. But KTM is really slick in its aerodynamic design, so not a lot of not a lot of slipstream can be gained off that car. As Mickey has a 1.5 second penalty now, and I don't think he's gonna make it. He needs to make 2 more tours around the lap. And I don't think he has sufficient fuel. What he can do though is trying to perform a switcheroo on Marty T. Not gonna work out. Marty T taking 6th place away from Mickey. Mickey's still having a little look, but with a penalty that needs to be served, he has to forfeit for that battle. No power has gotten past Erk. Now sets the sights on Mickey. Mickey now below 10% of fuel. Don't think he's gonna make that one. He can try, but I don't think he will be able to. As Tufas sets another best lap of the race of a 2:18.3, improvement of 0.3 of his previous best lap. Power has also now overtaken Mickey. And Mickey now also gets overtaken by Urk. Mickey now in severe fuel saving mode. Trying to make it to the end. The American cars have made their way to a lonely 1-2 as a third American car wants to make it a all-American podium, but there's one Austrian boy in the way, and that Austrian boy is Gickler. He is actually below 10% of fuel with only one lap left to go. It's gonna be tight, but it is achievable. If he's gonna stay in front, that is another question. Lewis Carmen now gets overtaken by Mark GT. Mark GT really pushing it. I think Carmen made another mistake on that last lap. And with only one lap left to go, some positions might be up for grabs. Mickey with 4%, 5% of fuel. It's going to be very tight for him. As Gary's now below 10% of fuel, so actually he refueled enough. Kind of underestimated that. It's more like that Too Fast overfueled, and I should have seen that one coming. Shouldn't I? Because yeah, Too Fast. If he refuels a lot. If he doesn't refuel, yeah, then his race is over. That's a bit of a story from Too Fast. He's actually going purple on this final lap, really pushing it. The final lap light is flashing. And with less than a minute left to go in this race, or at least for this lap, it seems to be Too Fast who's gonna take it. One more sector left to go for him. He's still purple. Can he continue this form all the way up to the flag? He's only one braking zone and one more corner left to go. After which he will claim another victory. Looks tidy, or maybe a bit wide on the middle of the apex. He powers it out. And Too Fast, he wins this round of Drivers Room Sunday League. Flashing lights and a perfect fast lap. A 2:17.9 to finish the day off. Gary finishes up in second place. Very well done. Nearly running out of fuel. And Flappy actually overtaking Gickler on this final lap and almost running out of fuel. As he crosses the line, he takes third, just ahead of Gickler, who actually runs out of fuel before the finish line. Mark GT will finish in 5th place, and then this Cartman, and then will be low power. Cartman celebrating, oh, and actually hitting the wall, getting himself a penalty. Cartman demoted down to 7th place and low power up to 6th place. As Urk finishes in 8th, and Mickey will just cling on for 9th place, just ahead of Mercer, who will finish in 10th. and Spo has finished in 11th place. Wow, that was a kind of dramatic ending to the race. Lombard just taking the place from Cartman just before the finish line due to Cartman celebrating a little bit too early. Yeah, you know what they say, don't celebrate too early, and this is a prime example of why you should not. Anyway, that was this race. Let me quickly grab the results, and I have them here. And now also on screen, it is Tufal still holding that lead in the championship with 126 points. He is on a mad roll this season. In second place it is Kiklaren with 92 points, and then it's Cartman with 87 points, so very close between the two of them. Cartman actually has missed 2 races, which might prove costly. Then Gary in 4th place with 77 points. Then it is Mr. Sean with 66 points, with Flapjack 1 point behind with 65 points. Then in 7th place Mark GT with 59 points. Then it's Urk with 57, Mickey with 51, and Longpower with 47 points in 10th. Mercer is in 11th with 44 points. Then it is Spo Simon with 42 points in 12th place. DJ only participated in 2 rounds. He is in 13th. Tester only in the first round. Then Lionessy in 15th with 10th. 10 points. Q8 with 7 points, and Vettel only with 4 points after only making it for 1 round this season. Anyway, that is the championship order as it stands now, with 2 races left on the calendar, which are the Grand Valley Highway 1 in the Supra GT 500 and the Honda Civic Touring Car around Sardegna, which will both be very exciting races. So it's still, the championship is still up for grabs. Too Fast it looks to have claimed it, but everything is still possible with 2 races left to race. So we'll wait to see what happens there. Anyway, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. And I hope to see you soon for some more Driversroom Sunday League. Until then, have a good one. Bye bye.